Princess Catherine is out and about.
And could Spare 2.0 be in the works?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some explosive royal drama. Could Prince Harry be gearing up for... Yep, you heard that right. With Kate Middleton courageously battling cancer, is this the worst possible time for another shocking memoir? Let's break down the latest royal buzz.
Hello and welcome to Heirs and Spares, the show where we bring you an intimate look into the lives of two of the most well-known and beloved members of the British royal family and their families. I'm Kinsey Schofield and I'll be bringing you updates on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex right here in California.
And I'm Katie Nichol and I'll have all the latest news from the Prince and Princess of Wales from here in the UK, where the Princess of Wales has been spotted out and about, and Prince George has been seen at another football game with his dad.
Katie, I have been seeing reports everywhere about the Princess of Wales being spotted out and about. I just want to give you credit because you said weeks ago that you heard that the Princess of Wales was improving. I was so uplifted by this news to see that the Princess of Wales has been spotted out about more and more is what I read. On top of your scoop, really warms my heart. What else are you hearing, and what have we learned more about the Princess of Wales?
Well, I think that news that she had turned a corner, which I've been told a couple of weeks ago, was really, really positive. And obviously we're talking about someone's health. This is a real personal journey for her. And I think we're just all very encouraged to hear that she had sort of turned a corner, that she was dealing with this preventative chemotherapy and better. And I think what we're hearing now, she's obviously been out and spotted. I think that sort of supports all of that. She's out and about, then that is a great indicator that she's feeling okay, that she's doing well. And of course, that's everyone's hope. I also have to say, Kinsey, I'm really encouraged by the fact that we haven't seen any photographs, that there hasn't been any video leaked of her out and about. You'll remember the last time that she was filmed, she was at the farm shop in Windsor with William. And this was before she'd announced to the world that she'd been diagnosed with cancer. But it was the first sighting of her since her hospitalisation in January, apart from that very grainy pap shot of her with her mother in the Land Rover driving around Windsor. So obviously, if she's out and about, there is always going to be a chance that she may be spotted by a member of the public, that they may whip out a phone. That hasn't been the case. I think that will be very encouraging for her, because if she is well enough to be out, and we're just having some lovely spring sunshine over in the UK, that will be good for her, to be getting out, to having a walk, to be in nature, which we know she loves. That's exactly what she needs. That's the medicine that she needs. So it's wonderful that she can do that. I think it's fantastic that she hasn't been photographed or filmed. I hope that that continues. The one message that has come out of Kensington Palace in all of this is that, she really needs this time and space out of the spotlight. As you can imagine, Kinsey, the reports in the Daily Mail that she's been out and about have led to quite a bit of speculation as to when she's going to be back at work. And we had reports earlier this week from the Daily Beast saying that may not be until next year. Now, I'm hearing that's wide of the mark. I'm hearing that they don't want to put a timeline on it full stop. There have been other reports, conflicting reports, saying actually, no, it's not going to be next year. It's going to be sometime in the autumn. I think anyone at the palace is very reluctant to put a timeline on it, because it will simply be down to Kate and her medical team when she comes back to work. But what I'm being told is that there is no hurry. There is no pressure on her, not from the palace, not from the king, not from William, not from anyone. She will be back. That much is certain. It's just a case of when.
First, if you're a royal fan, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates. Remember how shook the royal family to its core? Harry revealed intimate details about his life and relationships, and it sold like hotcakes. But it also deepened the rift, especially with Prince William.
That's incredible news. And I love that she has the freedom to do that. And it's like you said, that the privacy, that is so important to this healing process. When we were going through the process of where is she, I kept thinking, I don't want to do this anymore, because I have never felt that type of hysteria. Thankfully, it's died down. Like you said, TMZ is no longer hiding in the bushes outside of Windsor Castle. But have you ever seen anything like that? Was there ever any sort of chaos around even Princess Diana that could compare to what we witnessed throughout Kate's recovery after the abdominal surgery?
Well, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. She was the absolute centre of this sort of frenzied speculation. I think what made it so distasteful was that it was about her health. And of course, what no one knew was just how serious a health battle she was actually fighting at that point. And so, sometimes something awful has to happen to just remind people that there are real consequences and repercussions to their activity and their behaviour online. And, I'm sure we'll see episodes like that again, to be perfectly honest, but I'm very relieved that none of that has been reignited. But to your question about have I seen a sort of frenzy around Princess Kate like that? Well, yeah, I have actually. I mean, I'm thinking back to her 25th birthday when she wasn't the Princess of Wales or even the Duchess of Cambridge at that point. She was just Kate Middleton because the couple weren't engaged. But all the rumours at the time were that they were going to announce an engagement, that Kate's 25th birthday was seen as a really important moment, possibly a time for an engagement announcement. And you'll probably remember that footage, Kinsey, of her coming out of her Chelsea flat, trying to get into her car and not being able to sort of really move or navigate the pavement because of the sheer number of photographers. And I remember being told she got to work that morning. She was working as an accessories buyer for Jigsaw. And she got into the office and called William in floods of tears because it had just been such an awful experience, that just exposure to the spotlight, that scrutiny, the cameras in her face. This was a different experience, but, she has been on the receiving end of that sort of attention before. And I think sometimes people just forget, they are only human beings. And we've said it on the show that the cancer in many ways has been a great leveler with the royal family, because with the King and Kate both fighting this disease, they are like many other people around the world.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I do vividly remember those shots of her coming out, and she just looked so overwhelmed, and it was so unfair. I was beyond thrilled to get a Prince George sighting. How cute is this baby? Tell me all about it.
Well, I mean, when you look at these royal children, actually, just in the context of what we were saying, I think you realise how protected they are from the media. When you consider that they're living on the home park in Windsor, they're going to a pretty regular school. Mum and dad, well, not mum at the moment, we don't think, but certainly dad is doing the school run. They're living such an ordinary childhood. And then, William and Kate find the moments to sort of strategically put them in the spotlight, and that works because it satisfies our curiosity. We get these gorgeous pictures and these gorgeous sightings, and we had it over the weekend with William taking George to the FA Cup final at Wembley Stadium to watch a very important match between Manchester City and Man U, neither of which, I must stress, are teams that William and George support. We think George is an Aston fan. We absolutely know that William is a big Aston Villa fan. But reading between the lines in George's body language.
Now there are whispers that Harry might release a follow-up. Sources say Harry signed a multi-book deal. Journalist Robert Hardman believes Harry has plenty more stories to tell. But here's the kicker. Would he really drop a tell-all now while his father and sister-in-law are battling cancer? Kate Middleton is bravely undergoing preventative chemotherapy, and the family has requested privacy.
He didn't look completely thrilled when Manchester United won. So I'm wondering if he's got a bit of a soft spot for Man City. We certainly know he loves football, and I can tell you, Kinsey, he's a really good footballer himself. He plays for a club. He's actually really talented on the pitch, and I think gives his father a bit of a runaround when they play at home. So lovely to see William and his eldest son out and about. It's the second football match we've seen them at in the last month or so. And I think, again, that's really encouraging for us. It's sort of showing us that behind the scenes, or in front of the cameras on this occasion, life is going on for this family as normal, or as normal as it possibly can be, under incredibly difficult circumstances. And I'm sure there are many tough times at home. It's not going to be easy what they're going through. But for George to sort of be taken out and have that time with his dad must have been really special. And there looks to be a lovely bond between the two of them.
Absolutely. It's so fun to watch the two engage with each other, and almost like they can read each other's minds, because they'll look at each other and then you'll see a smirk grow across Prince William's face, and you're like, what's going on? What's the inside secret? What is the inside joke here? I'd love to know. I'm going to ask you a question, and it's okay if you tell me that we shouldn't even go here. But
go on.
there are reports we won't see the Princess of Wales at Trooping of the Color. Is there any hope that we might still see the children if we don't see the Princess of Wales? Might we still get a Prince Louis sighting? Would Prince William wrangle them himself? What are the odds there? Do you have any opinion on that?
Well, do you know what, Kinsey? It's a really great question. I mean, I think I said here before that I thought, this rumor that she'd be at Trooping all felt very premature. And all I'm hearing, as I said, out of the palace and my sources around there, is that there is just no pressure on her. No one wants her to feel hurried. I think one of the most telling things in all of this is how pivotal she is to the monarchy, how absolutely vital and fundamental she is. We need her. And so she needs to be protected. She needs to be able to recuperate. She needs to be 100% before she's back on that balcony or doing whatever engagements she may do, which she certainly will do coming up in the future. But as for Trooping, I think it's obviously going to be very, very important for the king to be there. I know he wants to be on horseback. He's doing very, very well at the moment, and I think the indication is that will all go ahead. The Prince of Wales obviously is going to be there in a supporting role as well. I think it would be wonderful to have the three children there, and I think if William and Kate think that that's possible and doable, I suspect, Kinsey, that the person who will help make that happen will be Queen Camilla. And if you remember, on sort of quite important state occasions, I'm thinking back to the coronation, Camilla was in the car with Catherine and the three children. She's close to those children. So I think, if the decision is made by William and Catherine to take the children, I think it'll be Queen Camilla making sure that it can happen in a way that the children are going to feel comfortable. William can do what he needs to do on the day. And of course, that all the attention is also going to be on the king. So I think on this one, we'll have to wait and see.
A new memoir during this sensitive time could look incredibly insensitive, potentially damaging Harry's reputation even more. Could this be the final nail in the coffin for any hopes of reconciliation with King Charles and Prince William? Harry and Meghan's brand has faced challenges since, and a second book might bring in big bucks, but at what cost?
Good call. I also feel like Sophie seems to engage with them in a playful, fun way, and she has that very motherly sense. So she might be a good wrangler as well if the Princess of Wales isn't able to be there.
I think you're right. I think these engagements and something like Trooping, where that balcony appearance is just so important. And, these moments are made all the more special for having the royal children there, like, Louis's memorable double-handed wave and when the noise all gets too much. These are wonderful moments, but let's not forget he's only just 6. I think that's quite a big thing to do without your mama being there. So I'm not sure. Let's wait and see. It'd be lovely if it happens. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't. The most important thing is, with it being the king's official birthday parade, that the king is there, and I know that he very much wants to be there on horseback. So let's hope that can happen.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see it. And I did read mixed reports that perhaps Trooping wouldn't go through because of the upcoming election. But as far as I can see, my friends are sending me pictures of the streets where they seem to be setting up seating and setting up fences. So it feels like London is physically preparing for the celebration. So, and I've heard nothing else. I have not heard that they would back out of Trooping because of the upcoming election. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, we haven't had official word from the palace yet. As you know, for the next 6 weeks or so, while this election campaign really heats up, the royals have taken a back seat. They don't want to be doing too much, or anything indeed, to deflect attention from the political arena. But Trooping is a once-a-year occasion. It's such an important moment in the royal calendar, and I think it's an important moment for the country and beyond. Many people, I'm sure in the States, will wake up early and want to see this sort of tradition, this ceremony that's steeped in history and years of heritage. I think the Prime Minister has a really good relationship with the King. They seem to get on well. I think Rishi Sunak sort of respects these royal occasions within the calendar, and so I think it's in everyone's interest that it goes ahead. So I put my money on the fact that we will see Trooping happen.
You're absolutely right. Every, international, cable news network is glued that morning. We are so envious of the way that your country shows out. I don't know any other way to describe it other than you are so superior in your celebrations, and it doesn't feel like it's just a celebration for King Charles, although it certainly is. It feels like it's a celebration for your entire country, and it's just so patriotic and beautiful, and the choreography and everything is just, I mean, how can we not envy you while we watch it? It's just, there's no way not to envy your country.
It's pretty spectacular, and when you see all the work that goes in behind the scenes.
Some think Harry might shift focus to their life in California rather than attacking the royals again. But what do you think? Should Harry write another memoir, or is it time to move on? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love royal updates, make sure to hit that subscribe button. The future of the Sussexes could hang in the balance to what will Harry do next? The world is watching. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.